Ex-UNC coach Mac Brown admits Bill Belichick inherits a $13 million advantage he never had. Can NFL's greatest coach survive college football's new reality? When Bill Belichick walked onto the sideline in Chapel Hill for his debut as head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels, it wasn't just another college football game. It was an experiment unfolding in real time. A six-time Super Bowl champion testing his genius in an entirely different arena, one defined by transfer portals, nil deals, and the chaotic unpredictability of 18 to 21-year-olds. But hovering over Belichick's historic debut was a surprising voice. Mac Brown, the man who once stood in the same position, steering UNC football before being dismissed at the end of 2023. With a touch of pride, regret, and candid honesty, Brown admitted that Belichick is inheriting a program armed with resources he never had. The difference, in Brown's words, is money. Specifically, the $13 million luxury UNC is now pumping into its football program, thanks to a nil explosion and revenue-sharing commitments. It's not the old. It takes only 3 years to get better, Brown told FanDuel Sports Network. There are 70-plus new players that will play at North Carolina tonight than I had when I left in December, so you can actually buy you a new team so you can get better fast. For Belichick, who arrives in Chapel Hill with unmatched NFL credentials, those words both validate and complicate his task. Yes, he has resources. Yes, he has talent. But he also has expectations higher than any college coach has faced in recent memory. Mac Brown's candid reflection, regret and reality. Brown's tenure in Chapel Hill was respectable but not transformative. Across his second stint with UNC, he amassed a 44-32 record over 6 seasons, but the program stalled short of national prominence. When NIL deals began reshaping the recruiting landscape, Brown found himself on the wrong side of the financial arms race. North Carolina didn't have nil money for me, he admitted in a frank interview. We weren't able to recruit the top kids like we were when we first got there. At one point, I even told a player to take a $1 million offer elsewhere because we couldn't come anywhere close to competing with that. That quote stings. It paints a picture of a coach fighting with empty pockets against rivals armed with million-dollar promises. While Brown was still trying to win battles with tradition and relationships, the game around him had changed forever. Now, under Belichick, those excuses are gone. UNC has reportedly boosted its nil package from $4 million to $20 million, with 65% earmarked for football and 35% for men's basketball. That's approximately $13 million directly for the football program. Money Brown never had, and money Belichick is expected to turn into wins. So they've got a great staff. They've got money to recruit. They've got not only the revenue share, but money above that, Brown said. They'll have a tremendous atmosphere tonight, so I really think that Bill will do a tremendous job there. Belichick's $13 million advantage, a program rebuilt overnight. It's not hyperbole to say Belichick inherited a different UNC than Brown left. Within months of his hiring, the Tar Heels overhauled their roster, bringing in 70 new players through the transfer portal and high school recruiting. This wasn't gradual growth. This was a revolution. The money flowing into the program through nil deals allowed UNC to compete with SEC and Big Ten giants for recruits who previously would have ignored Chapel Hill. For the first time in decades, UNC football felt like it had the financial horsepower to match its ambitions. Belichick, never one to waste resources, went full throttle. His staff blanketed recruiting trails, raided the transfer portal, and built a roster that reflected his philosophy: discipline, toughness, and depth. For fans, it looked eerily similar to what Deion Sanders did at Colorado in 2023, clearing house, rebuilding overnight, and daring to dream big. The harsh reality check: college football isn't the NFL. And yet, amid the hype and the money, analysts have been quick to pump the brakes. Josh Pate, the voice behind Late Kick Live, offered a blistering reminder. One of the laziest takes out there has been Belichick will succeed at North Carolina. And the reason is that college football is just like the NFL. Now, college football is not just like the NFL. That's like saying my little niece in preschool art class and Van Gogh were both artists, 'cause they painted. I could say that. It's ignorant. The point point is clear. NFL coaching and college coaching may share a sport, but the worlds couldn't be more different. In the NFL, Belichick commanded grown men, professionals who lived and breathed football as their livelihood. In college, he must motivate teenagers juggling academics, nil commitments, and social pressures. He must recruit year-round, manage the transfer portal, and play politics with boosters. He must adapt to a game where teaching fundamentals is as important as devising schemes. Colin Cowherd, never shy about his opinions, drew the comparison back to Deion Sanders. It's like Deion in his first year. Programs are forced to go the portal route. You might be right that recruit and develop is how you get to the top of the sport. Yes, but that's not how you turn it around quickly. Belichick, like Sanders, is banking on the quick fix. But quick fixes carry risks. The experiment at 73. Can Belichick bend college football? At 73 years old, Belichick is no longer the sharp-suited sideline general of the Patriots dynasty. He is a man with nothing left to prove in the NFL, but everything to prove in this new college world. The gamble is staggering. For Belichick, the move represents reinvention. For UNC, it represents a bet that football royalty can make their program nationally relevant overnight. Pat Ford captured the shock value perfectly. That was the most interesting coaching move I've maybe ever seen. Maybe even more than Colorado hiring Deion Sanders. Bill Belichick has won 6 Super Bowls. You're bringing that into college. It's amazing. But amazement doesn't guarantee success. For every Sanders-like spark, there are countless failed experiments of NFL coaches who underestimated the grind of the college game. Mac Brown's warning between the lines. Brown's comments weren't just observations. They were warnings. Yes, Belichick has more money. Yes, he has more resources. But money cannot buy time, patience, or chemistry. College football requires building not just a roster, but a culture. Brown admitted he couldn't keep up financially, but he also hinted that patience is no longer a luxury in Chapel Hill. Belichick will be expected to deliver results fast, perhaps unrealistically fast. The bigger picture, college football's new economy. Belichick's arrival at UNC symbolizes more than one man's challenge. It represents the new era of college sports. NIL and revenue sharing have transformed programs like UNC from regional powers into national players overnight. Where once tradition and coaching acumen defined success, now money speaks loudest. The arms race is real, and Belichick is the newest participant. For college football purists, it feels like a tipping point. For modernists, it feels like progress. For Belichick, it is both opportunity and burden. Conclusion: a smooth ride or a rocky road? Bill Belichick's college football journey has just begun. But already the comparisons to Deion Sanders are everywhere. Both men rebuilt programs overnight. Both men brought unprecedented attention. Both men promised change. But while Sanders delivered instant fireworks at Colorado, Belichick faces a different reality. His debut reminded fans that transformation takes time, even with $13 million in nil resources. Mac Brown's candid reflections cut to the heart of the story. Belichick inherits what he never had: money, resources, and leverage. Now, the question is whether he can turn that luxury into legacy. At 73, the stakes couldn't be higher. For Belichick, this isn't about adding to his NFL resume. It's about proving that greatness can transcend leagues, levels, and generations. For UNC, it's about finally stepping into the football spotlight they've chased for decades. And for college football fans everywhere, it's about witnessing history, the experiment of Bill Belichick in a world where the only constant is chaos.